Yeah, you're right.
With yes, it is.
Nigerian economy, we see the bigger picture. Business Express on Smooth 98.1. Business Express brought to you by
going live. Good morning.
Transaction solutions you can depend on.
Smooth 98.1, love music, love life. I'm Ayo Mairo-Ese, and you are most welcome to today's edition of Business Express 981. It's a Tech Friday edition, and I have with me Rotus. Morning, Rotus. How are you today?
I'm fine. Good morning to you. Good morning to Lagos and beyond. Good morning to our Fisayo.
All right. Yeah. Excellent. We have Fisayo. Georgia, good morning, Fisayo. How are you today?
I'm very well. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Rotus. Good morning, Lagos.
Wonderful. You can find Fisayo at RMO Fisayo on Twitter. Rotus is at Rotan Quote on Twitter, and find us at Smooth 981 FM on Twitter using the hashtag Business Express 981. Today on the show, you can join the conversation by streaming live on YouTube. YouTube is Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Whilst you can also send us a WhatsApp message on 0809 444 0981. We're also on Twitter, so please tweet at Smooth981FM. Use the hashtag Business Express 981. Rotus.
Yeah, so remember yesterday when we were speaking with guests from Stanbic, somebody sent in a message asking that we talk about the new central bank capital benchmarks for fintech companies. So the central bank put out 6 categories with respect to companies in the payment space. So they're switching and processing, mobile money operators, payment solution services, payment terminal service providers, payment solution service providers, and then super agents. They've got requirements that have to be escrowed and kept in the central bank accounts. I believe it's refundable. Switch processing is 2 billion naira. So same thing for mobile money operators. For payment solution services, it's 250 million naira. Payment terminal service providers, 100 million. Payment solution service providers, 100 million. And then super agents, 50 million. Fisayo, what do you make of the benchmarks and what I think they put out a circular, I think it was on Monday or Tuesday to this effect. What do you make of it?
Okay, I sincerely don't know because the idea of capital requirement suggests that the business will require that huge capital to survive, something like that. So think about banking, for instance. When CBN says that we need minimum 25 billion for a national bank or 10 billion for a regional bank, it's trying to say that, okay, from the capital perspective, because you're going to be holding depositors' money, you're going to be, performing some fiduciary responsibilities. In case anything happens, you should have this required capital that can absorb some potential losses that you might have in the course of the operation. So that's the idea of capital requirements, right? But for a payment business, they don't necessarily hold deposits. It's a payment link. So what happens when you pay with your card, or when you pay at the POS terminal? Okay, so again, just this category. So switch means that it's a platform that helps you move money from one bank to another. So it's called switching, right? PSS is just a combination of all the other 3, right? So PTSP are terminal operators, so POS terminal operators. PSSPs are maybe people like Paystack that have just payment links and Flutter Waves. Super agents are people that you go to do cash in, cash out with, right? They have agents across Nigeria. So those are the categories, right? So essentially, these people don't necessarily hold, depositors' money. When you make a payment on the PSSP, say you want to buy something with your card online, right? What the PSSP does is that sends a message to your bank, right? Like, okay, this person, does he even have this money? right? You want to make a payment of 10,000 naira. They'll confirm, do you have this money? And your bank will cut you access of that money, right? Don't forget, once it's okay, I'm making this payment, the bank just, owes the money in trust. It's the bank that does that, right? And then once that is confirmed, then the PTSP has to collect the money and then move it at the end of the day to the seller. So they don't necessarily have responsibilities to collect the money on behalf of anybody. It's your bank that owes it. So I'm wondering why the capital requirement is important, right? Same for PTSP operators, that's POS terminal operators. They do exactly the same thing, only that this is from physical POSs, not online, right? While switching, it's people like InterSwitch, InterSwitch, eTransact, a few other people that have, switching license that ensures that yes, your NIP can work, your NEFT can work, and a few of and NIPS, those are the few, switches that we have in Nigeria, right? Those are the people that now, ensure that yes, money moves from a bank to another. So I'm wondering, why is it necessary to have this capital requirement, right? But of course, I know that the CBN, from their perspective, is the only way they can, set regulation is by increasing capital requirements. They've proven that over and over again. By introducing some form of capital requirement, that's the only way they see as regulating. And I think that's what they're just doing. I think it's neither here nor there.
Okay, fair point. Yeah. Again, as a regulator, I think you have a responsibility to oversee everybody that's along a value chain that's providing a service. If and then the money is, that's another thing, and it's in. So, and then it's for the big.
Rotus. Yeah. Let me explain something to you, right? Uber till today is still a non-profitable business, right? So it means that
it's profitable, though.
What?
Eats is profitable. Eats made money during the pandemic.
I'm saying Uber's business.
Subsets, I get you.
Yeah, right. So the point is that, so imagine the regulator saying that Uber, you need a non-encumbered capital requirement to operate.
Is Uber a good example here? Are they a good analogy?
No.
Because
Yeah, I'm just giving an example, saying that because what they are saying is that these companies cannot make losses that is more than this amount. It's unencumbered. Do you get? So it means that they have to get money every time to ensure that their capital base is shored up, to ensure that they don't, lose money to that extent. And early stage businesses, even in Nigeria, that when we started the business today, I started in school a few years ago. I mean, if I had capital requirements, I would have gone out of business, because there's no, you would always, especially in the first few years of your business, try to put things together. You will always probably even make losses for the first 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. If you limit, my capital to the point that I can't make losses, and I have this money sitting at CBN, it means I was going to look for money externally to shore up my losses, right? And I have 2 billion sitting somewhere.
Well, 2 billion to InterSwitch is nothing. Let's or e-trans like that. Fisayo, if you, me, and Ayo want to start let me pick one here. If I don't know, super agent license or a PSSP, 3 of us can raise 100 million from investors. Is that, or 50 million?
No, we can raise 100 million. Rotus.
Once you've raised that, once you've raised that, just go and deposit with the CBN. They're going to look for money to start the business.
Okay, so 150 or 200. Okay, I get where you're coming from. But these businesses, I think, again, it's escrow, it's refundable, and there's a need for regulation. I think that's where your points are well noted. But I don't see it as that big a barrier because of the tiers. If it was 2 billion for everybody, I'd be like, how can a super agent or a find 2 billion from? But again, you have a point.
Let's take some comments, right? From some people have questions, some people have contributions to the conversation. So Ben Gakaman says, are those charges by the CBN not too much for those companies? Because I believe the regulatory agencies should enable businesses. They should study these businesses before jumping in with rules. Do these companies have the same capital requirements in other countries?
They do. In other countries, they do.
They do.
But then Isiaka wants you to briefly explain.
Hold on, sorry.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
You want to start a payment business in the West, pick a country, and you just enter the market like that. There are requirements now, Fisayo. I'm not the capital requirements.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. There are no capital requirements for payment businesses. Payment businesses are not. They're not banks. Banks require needs capital requirement, not the payment link.
Sorry, confusing us. So let me see. Let's not confuse people. So someone says the CBN always returns the capital. So if maybe you need to be clear on that. So that's what Rotus said. That
it's escrow.
Okay. Yes,
escrow. Refundable.
Yes. So
when is it refundable? When is it going to be refunded?
They didn't actually go into detail, but it's stated that it's refundable. So I pay
the point is that you have to deposit the money with the CBN. Once you are in business, the money sits with the CBN.
At some point, they stated it. Maybe they have to give us some more clarity on that. But
yes.
At some point, it's refundable.
Isiaka from Ebitimeta says, can we ask Fisayo to briefly explain each of 5 years payment processing again?
No, he did. He explained all of them now.
I think he wants you to
video. Watch the YouTube. So find all of them.
All right, so you can go back to our YouTube channel. I think the reason why people are asking is that maybe they want it to be clearer. So even if they watch the YouTube video, so maybe if you can just break it down just briefly for us, please.
Right. So switching licenses are businesses that help banks move money from one bank to another, because the individual banks have their own internal systems, but they are connected to a switch that ensures that money can move within banks. Right. Okay. So that's InterSwitch, eTransact. A few other companies have that switching license in Nigeria. Then there's a PSS, Payment Solution Service, that combines, PTSP, PSSP, and super agent licenses together. So I'll just explain each of those PTSP. So PTSP are payment terminal operators, right? So they are POS operators. So if you go to anywhere you're paying, you probably see a name like Global Accelerex, CityServe, iTechs, right? They are PTSPs themselves. They are the owners of the terminals, right? Then if you come down to PSSP, they are the payment service solution providers, which are people like Paystack, Flutterwave, that operate, digital payment services. So it means you're paying online, you're paying with, what's it called, Quick Teller, all of those kind of things. And then finally is you get down to the super agents, which are people like OPay, right, that have agents across Kudi HQ, Paga. Paga is a mobile money operator, right? But super agents are people that, people like, what's the name again? They have agents. So if you want to do cash in, cash out, if you look at the name of the agents you're working with, so it's probably, some, super agent that owns all of those agents across Nigeria. So those are the descriptions of those licenses.
Thank you. Thanks very much for breaking it down. D from Alausa says, some could a bank hold money, and for those that don't, there's still a probability that they fail to fulfill obligations and would need
to bank. Could as a microfinance bank.
Yeah. All right. Yes. So Waji says, listening to the possibility that CBN wants to introduce capital requirements for payment companies when majority of the population are unbanked is the definition of madness. And then Daniel says, Rotus, regulatory cost eventually hits the customer. When we complain about transaction fees being high, regulatory cost is a major factor. And then OG from Amo says it's refundable when they want to go out of business. As long as they're in business, they cannot touch
the money. Stays with the CBN, yeah.
And then finally, FS Mekani says, immediately after the license is issued, capital includes IT assets needed for the business. Please, so that he was just explaining that. Thank you very much, FS Mekani.
All right. Fisayo, we didn't get into Uber, and we didn't get into this tech company that raised money in the medical, but always a vigorous debates with Fisayo on it. I guess we'll get into that next week or so. Plenty to get into.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Fisayo. Thanks as well, Rotus, for today's conversation. I think it was good to clarify, and obviously it's a topic that is a number of people want clarity on and to have a conversation around. Would like Rotus mentioned, Tech Friday is on Friday, so hopefully we'll touch on the other stories next week, if nothing else.
Exactly. If nothing else happens.
If nothing else, which is I mean, I doubt that. Well, thanks. You can find Fisayo at RMO Fisayo on Twitter, Rotus at Wrote and Quote on Twitter. Find us at Smooth981FM. Use the hashtag Business Express 981. In a few minutes, well, in about 45 minutes, we'll bring you today's edition of Freshly Pressed 981, detailed analysis of today's national news stories. Before then, we have some smooth music lined up for you, so stay tuned.
Express, brought to you by ExaSwitch.
Thank you so much.
Solutions depend on. With critical focus on the Nigerian economy, we see the bigger picture. Business Express on Smooth 98.1.
Thank you so much for listening.